the Punch TV. So make sure say any first time I the channel ya. Oba subscribe the ama ya no like no share. We so abeje wa dwen share e comment section or also the account. Abusuafo Saturday de e ba na ma no sem dia me say say mo dija okwa NPP afa say ensem wo ho okwa NDC afa ensem wo ho movement for change ensem wo ho and as also na freedom so a party so ensem wo ho abusuafo say am le mo yan kama ho na mo yan ko hwe video bi say agent ha trendy ye pa o social media so emra ye ba ye de munchire mu nyina e be brem.
You are on a platform trying to say that your opponent,
yes,
cancelled nursing training allowances and that you restored it. You knew you were going to a nursing training school. You knew you were going to talk about nursing training allowances. So you have to prepare. Okay. Have the data that show that when we came to power, and restored the nursing training allowances. This is how much we have paid so far. From January this year to this year, we have cleared this. Okay. So that a student like that will not take you by surprise. So she is saying that and I'm sure it's her group.
Yeah.
Okay. They are in their last semester in school. And they do 3 years. So for the past 3 years, they've not received any allowances.
So going on to 6 semesters.
Yes.
Okay.
They've not received any allowances. So what are you doing about it? And they answer the vice president, who was earlier standing on the platform telling the people that they have restored allowances and blah, 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 is that I'll go to finance ministry.
And the essence of restoration is payment.
I'll go to finance ministry. I'll go to where ensure that you are paid. Eh? Is this vice president really sure about himself? That when he goes and then the farmers approach him and ask him, our cocoa, our fertilizers are not in the, then you say what? Then we tell them that I'll to finance, I'll call the agric minister, I'll go to finance ministry. When he goes to House of Chiefs and they raise issues, you say that I'll call the chieftaincy minister. Is that how we are going? Because that is something you want to use against your opponent. So you should be well prepared. So before you even get to a nursing training school, you know what you have done with your restoration of nursing training allowances. You know where you are now, why you have not been able to pay for the last 3 years. You know what has happened. That is what the girl, I'm sure, wanted to hear. That's okay. So they've paid from 20 whatever to this.
To get your
attention. It is for this reason why we have not been paid. That is what I was expecting to hear from the vice president. Only to hear that, I'll call the finance ministry and I'll make sure that you are paid. Really, Mr. Vice President.
But you know that the sad part for me is the reports that the young lady was attacked.
Yes, and this morning we are hearing that the lady was attacked. For what?
For asking, you invited her.
And I think that if the vice president and his team have heard of this, they should take it seriously. They should ensure that they get all the people who are involved in that act. They should. I mean, this should be something like...
That should interest even the vice president.
Yes.
That you invite people to your occasion, not expecting them to ask you specific certain questions.
And this question, I don't see why somebody should go attacking the lady. Because the man spoke specifically about nursing training allowances. Yeah. She is a trainee. She has not received the allowances. You think that she should keep quiet? Just like the others were sitting there. You see, when the vice president said, we have restored the allowance, you say, hey, that she has, yeah. But when the lady asked the questions, when she asked the question, you saw her colleagues behind her shouting, clapping, cheering her up. at least somebody was bold enough to tell the vice president, Mr. Vice President, what you are saying is not the picture on the ground. Then we are hearing of attacks.
Let's okay. There's a statement that's coming from the Bono East NDC. They are also one of those who are making this suggestion. Obi Njenim Boatin is Deputy Regional Youth Organizer of the National Democratic Congress. Good morning to you, and how are you?
Good morning, Eric.
No, this is Senna.
Senna, okay.
Yes. Obing, I hope you're well.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
How about you?
I am also doing well. I understand you are one of the NDC. The Bono is one of the groups that are suggesting that this young lady, after asking these questions, was attacked by NPP sympathizers. Tell us exactly what you know.
All right. So, good morning, cherished listeners, and listening this morning. Yeah, it's true.
Before you continue, we are having issues with this particular line. So Eric will call you on another line. I was asking exactly what you know about this supposed attack. Obing, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. And I was asking what happened.
Okay. So, good morning once again to your cherished listeners. It is true. Last week, the NPP organized a program which was dubbed Bono East Youth Connect with Bawumia. And in that program, a lot of students were back to the premises. SHS students, market women, and of course, these nursing students. And so it was in the course of the conversation where it was time for questions. This nursing student asked a question, legitimate question, and that she has been in school for 3 years now. And the only thing she can say is that she has not received allowance for the past 3 years since her admission. And the vice president couldn't answer that question. The vice president said he is not aware that students have not been paid the allowance. And so he's going to engage the Ministry of Finance to verify the truth or otherwise of the assertions or the question of the lady. Now, after everything, we thought that students were called to come and engage with the vice president. We thought it was her right to even ask the question at the forum. She got back to campus, and there have been several messages of attack asking her, is she an NDC planted person to come and ask the question? Asking her whereabouts, where her hostels are. In fact, they're really looking for rooms to attack the lady. Of course, some of the messages has already been sent, and they are messages that are attacking the person of the lady who asked this legitimate question at the program. And so we at the regional youth wing think that the NPP are a group of people that we cannot trust when it comes to violence. And so we are putting this message out there to call on the general public, to make the general public aware of the plans by the NPP youth on the lady, so that at least for God's sake, we shall save a life. Yes.
So far, what you've seen are verbal attacks and also threats.
Yes.
Threats sent to her by phone?
Yes, sent to her by phone on no number. So this morning, I am going to be on the campus with the lady to take all the contacts. Then we start verifying the persons behind the contact from today.
And you're saying the main issue is whether the suggestion that she was planted by the NDC to ask the question.
Yes. Her colleagues, the NPP guys are calling her colleague students. Where do you know this lady? Where is she coming from? Do you know where she stays? These questions are security threatening questions. And so we must be cautious, and we must blow the alarm. We must whistle blow for people to know what these NPP guys are really planning to do. Yes. And you know, one serious thing is that just this Wednesday, tomorrow, the lady is starting an examination, end of term examination. And all these things are happening to her just because of a harmful question she asked the vice president.
So your statement seeks to draw attention to this and ensure that she's not attacked physically.
Exactly. And also to sound a word of caution to the NPP in the region that if they do anything wrong, we, the regional of the NDC, shall reply them in hand.
This was an open forum in fact, we are now getting the video to watch. How damaging has this been to the NPP in the region to the point that these suggestions and these text messages have been sent?
That's what is mind-boggling. We cannot understand the rationale behind the attacks. You know, perhaps they think that the lady has exposed the vice president's incompetence. Definitely the vice president is not in charge. Because if you are the head of the economic management team, you should be able to know whether or not students' allowance have been paid or not. And every day, we have fed Bawumia on several platforms, on radio stations, on forums, in fact, TV stations everywhere, even at the launch of their manifesto, at serious programs and on several programs. Bawumia has touted the restoration of allowances as one of their major successes in government. And so having this bold lady coming out to voice out what actually the issues are has really affected the NPP in the region and beyond the region. And so obviously these are perhaps their reasons for attacking the lady.
So this is a matter that has been widely discussed in the region.
Yes, this is a matter that has been widely discussed in the region. And people are very angry because you cannot treat me unfairly, deny me of my allowances, and then when I talk about it, you still want to attack me. We are making the people know what is happening to the lady as we speak. Of course, the lady has a family. The lady has relatives. And so if they should be home and hear that, no, their daughter asked just a question and her life is being threatened, then I think that it is a matter of public interest. We must draw the public into the issue for people who are concerned and authorities who are supposed to act, so that at least we can safeguard a life, because we cannot trust the NPP.
See. Thank you, Obing, for speaking to us.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Obing Ejenim Boatin.